All right, welcome back, guys, to One Man's Life Mission with Dave. And today I have a special guest on, Ennis Isnet. This is the name of his
Boom.
channel, Ennis Isnet.
That's the one.
And we want to discuss something very important, which we've already had this conversation before. Hopefully, we haven't blown all of the good information, but gaming everywhere, gaming everywhere, and how valuable it is. So welcome to my channel. How you going?
Good man. Good. Happy to be here. I'm so grateful for this opportunity.
Mm,
Having game all the time on, which
yeah.
is a mentality and mindset that most people should have, but they don't. They don't. And it's not only hurting their success with women, but it's also hurting their life, as an overall picture.
Yeah,
So yeah.
so for everyone at home, yeah, Ennis just mentioned something interesting. We were added to a group. There's a whole group of pickup and dating coaches. There's a whole group of us. We were like a little private chat, and we all got chatting to each other and got to know each other, and that's how we met. Um, and yeah, we were discussing how even during this whole pandemic, I've been discussing how I'm still approaching and still, making the best of a bad situation. And you mentioned the same thing. You mentioned, should be switched on with your game 24/7, anywhere. Would you like to elaborate on what the definition of that is?
Yeah, definitely. So, you know, what being 24/7 on for me means is not necessarily having night game or not necessarily having day game or mall game or doing game at the gym,
Mm,
People should not and we should not put game in separate rooms or in separate parts of our lives,
yeah.
you know game should be a part of our daily life. There is no gym game, there is no night game, there is just game. And
Mm,
having this mentality of being 24/7 on enables you to have game everywhere and do game everywhere and practice it everywhere. So when I
mm,
first started game, I had the same mentality, of, oh, I'm gonna go do night game, or oh, I'm gonna go do day game, or I'm gonna do like gym game. But then as I start to learn more and grow more and like be more, I switched to the mentality of, or I was taught of the mentality of, it's never off. It's always on. Like, you should always be on, because guys, they start this off in a way, and why they have this like day game night game, because they don't view themselves as that person yet. Game for them is something they switch on and they go back to their old selves you
yeah,
know
or it could be marketing. It could be a marketing. When the guys they say, look, oh, here's my day game product, or here's my night game product, or uh, here's my cafe product. You can only
Definitely.
approach girls in a cafe, and this is my strategy for a cafe. I've actually seen guys. I've seen guys that go out and do day game, and as soon as the girl enters the shop, they just stop at the front door. It's
Oh
like
my God.
invisible wall. And these are coaches. These are coaches, So yeah, and also actually one thing I saw tonight. Was Tom Torero met up with Mystery, right? And these are two
Hmm.
guys. One focuses on night game, the other one focuses on day game. And he was saying how he went out into the clubs and he felt he felt uncomfortable because it was Mystery's domain, and during the daytime he felt more comfortable. This is what Tom Torero was saying, and I was like, what the hell? It's like there's still girls, you know. Um,
Yeah.
you should be able to game everywhere, right?
Yeah.
No matter what. Mm, I think it's
And
relevant.
so it is irrelevant, because like, you coming from the space of, oh, there's night game, oh, there's day game, or there's like this game, is you're actually thinking that game is something you do. You know, this is like coming from the old model of reality. You know, like game is something I do. Like it's not part of me. I switch it on. I use this game, you know,
Mm.
because where like guys are coming from the start is, you know, they're coming from a place of insecurity. They're coming from a place of lack. So they try to do this game, you know, to game these girls. And that's why they do night game and day game, da da da. But, you know, switching from night game and day game and cafe game and all of these different games
Cafe
to
game.
actually to actually game never stops. Game is 24/7 on. It enables you to actually accept that it never stops, and that actually it's part of your life, and you know it's you. Because
Mm.
what you said happens when you do day game and night game. When you enter a venue that you haven't been before, or a situation that you haven't encountered before, you get paralyzed, because in your head there's night game and day game. But if you change the mindset to actually game never stops, then it doesn't matter if you're in the club or in the gym or in the coffee shop or whatever. If you have this mindset of it never stops,
Mm.
then you are more free to do game and, you know, game the girls, etc. So
Yeah, like sometimes I would have like newbies come out to meet me either for some day game or something like that, and I would meet them somewhere, and then I would ask them, okay, so you traveled from your home to here. Have you made any approaches in the last hour? And they're like, no, no, no. I was saving my approaches for when I met up with you.
no.
I was like, hey, hang on. Okay, let's just rewind it up. Did you drive here? No, I caught a bus or a train or something. Were the girls on the bus or the train? Did you walk to the station? Did you um, did you eat anything out on your way? Oh, I went to a cafe and bought a coffee on my way in. Was there a girl at the cafe? You know, it's like game is you're limiting your game time to the game time, and the rest of the week is off, and you've only got these 3 or 4 hour window of opportunity to meet girls, when every day all those opportunities are being wasted.
Yeah.
um, and if anything, you don't really need a concentrated part of your day for game if you're always gaming, right?
Yeah.
um, that's definitely, it just limits your time, I feel. um, yeah.
I mean, technically, doing night game and doing day game should be like a concentrated time where you're doing this one thing really efficiently and you're maximizing your time. You know, that's why guys go for day game and night game, because they
Mm.
take 3 or 4 hours of their day or of their time to just do game so they can get better at this. But what they don't realize it is, like you said, like you can game anytime. If you see a girl in the train, you can talk to her. You don't have to be in this game mode, or have told yourself that, okay, now I'm gonna do day game or now I'm gonna do train game. You know, you can
Mhm.
always game. And I have empathy for those people who still have this mentality of day game and night game, because I was the same. You know, when I was, now I live in the UK. When I was back in Bulgaria, I had this day game and night game thing. You know, didn't have the mentality of, oh, I can game anytime I want, because I was, you know, new to the game. I was young, all of these stuff. There was no one to teach me. You know, I didn't have any mentors. The only way that I was learning, you know, was from books and videos, etc. And you know, I had a wingman, but he was no better than me either. So, you know, we didn't have any mentors. We didn't have anybody to tell us any differently. But as time went by, and I, you know, became better at game, and I became better as a person, and you know, when I came to the UK, I was like, well, wait a sec. On my way to university, I'm catching the train. I am at the train stop. I am going to coffee shops. I'm going to, you know, food shops. I'm going to the club. I'm in my classes. I have all of these places and all of these different
Yeah.
venues and opportunities to meet girls, but I'm not using them. I'm not using them. And,
Mm.
you know, I'm missing out. I'm literally missing out. And you know, another thing is like when you do only night game, or you separate these different places where you can do game, you build a confidence around it, and you build your comfort zone around it, because guys
Yeah.
get comfortable doing only day game and night game, but
Mm,
when they get in the train or get in the bus, they haven't built their confidence around gaming in every single venue, so they build only
mm.
situational confidence rather than building core confidence.
Yeah, I
So
guess
that's the
that's a good point that you bring up there. Yeah, a lot the you could, for you guys at home, you could actually become reliant and have a reliance on needing a wing too. To the point where you don't game unless you are with a wing. So you hit the nightclub, I guess, and you don't approach or don't try to make anything happen with any girls until you meet your wing, and then when you leave your wing, you don't do anything on the way home either. Uh, that's a crutch. That's a crutch that you need to let go of. It kind of is. It's like you build this confidence, um, that just limits you to a certain area. That's definitely something that a lot of guys, I guess, in the beginning, they need to get the experience with different areas as well, bringing them into different areas. Like, I guess at the moment with me, it doesn't really matter. As soon as I open that front door, if there's a girl out there on my way wherever I am, I'll have a go. Try and pick up
yeah.
any girl, pretty much any girl. I don't care anymore.
But you know, you probably, I don't know, I guess you probably didn't, you know, start off that way. You probably had to build yourself up until you could get to
Mm,
that point, right? But
mm,
most guys get stuck, and that's why I guess we're doing this video. So if a guy is in this position, he can see himself doing wrong, or having, you know, still having a place to improve, and then actually taking the steps necessary to improve. Because when you don't have someone as a mentor or as a teacher, or you know, like a role model, someone to look up to, especially in game, well, then you can't compare yourself with that ideal and that role model and see that you still have places to improve. Because before, when I was doing only day game or night game, there was no one to tell me, bro, listen up, there is no such thing as only day game or only night game. It's life game, like it's 24/7, it never ends, it's always on. There was no one to tell me that, so I wasn't able to realize it. But that's why it's so important to, you know, keep watching videos like this. But like I said, you build up to it. You're probably not born in that position, but it's good to have an ideal to work towards.
mm.
Does that make
Yeah,
sense?
yeah. I guess that when you allot out a certain period of time and you don't game for the rest of the week, that's only 4 hours of game, where you are limited to that specific location. You're limited to the girls at that specific time. But if you do, say, 5-10 minutes here and there during the day, every day, it adds up to more than the 4 hours or 6 hours or 10 hours at the end of the week. So it's like uh, you end up gaming more in your lunch breaks, before and after work. Some guys do use that as an excuse. Oh, I've been working really hard. And then if I was to, I've spoken to quite a few guys that have done boot camps, and then I ask them, like, okay, so how many approaches have you done this week? Oh no, I've been really busy this week, they say. But if I break it down, I don't care how busy you are. I can find time in your day. I don't care if you're President Trump. There's still time to make a few cold approaches. Um, there's always time, and there's
There
no
is.
excuses. Yeah, there's no excuses.
No, no excuses.
Mm. And I guess that's part of the message behind this video. Yeah, is there anything else you want to add to this topic?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So going back to, you know, what you said, like guys say that they're busy and etc. And like you said, is just excuses. And you know, some of the excuses that guys always say as well is, well, I don't have time to go in game for hours right now, so I'm not going to game at all. You know, that's like the wrong frame of mind to be coming from. If you have 15 or 20 minutes right now to spare, you can use that time to game or talk to a girl. For example, if you're taking a train to commute to work, well, instead of just staying on your phone or doing some bullshit activity for the next an hour or for the next hour, hour and a half, however, you know, time you spent commuting, you can actually use that time to proactively look for girls to approach. You know,
Mm.
be proactive. Don't be freaking passive. What I have done in the past is when I was taking the train to commute to university, I was going from wagon to wagon,
Yeah,
approaching,
yeah, yeah.
and that's time well spent.
Mm,
Like of course people are gonna look at you like you're a fucking nut drop approaching girls at 6 a.m. in the morning because
mm,
everybody's still sleeping. But how bad do you want it? Like, do you want this shit or do you don't want it? You know,
mm,
the more time you put into it, the more you're going to get out. And for you to grow more and to take the next step of game and next step of growth, people need to implement this mentality of game never stops, game is
mm.
24/7 on. And you know, if you have that mentality as a person, it doesn't matter if you're shopping for food, it doesn't matter if you are going to the gym or whatever, you will have the freedom to be able to talk to any girl anytime. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, yeah. I guess. Yeah, you're right. It does come down to, I guess, time management to some extent, and people worry about their time, but uh, uh, like going from carriage to carriage. The reason why I laughed is because I've done that many times. You know, the girls standing up, you can approach quite easily. You know, and if even if it
Yeah.
is 7 or 8 a.m., they'll be standing there, and you can still be like, "Hey, so what are you up to today?" And at 7, 8 in the morning, they're more likely to say hello and reply to you. Um, but yeah, for you guys at home, I hope you got something out of this video. It's just another quick interview as I'm doing at the moment. But I'll leave a link in the description to Enes's channel. And thanks for coming on. And make
No
sure you
worries,
guys
man. Thanks for having me.
click the subscribe button and click the bell icon so you don't miss out on any future dating videos that I'll be doing in the future. I'll be producing a lot more dating content. I'm not going anywhere. I've just got myself a camera and a mic, so I'm looking forward to pumping out some infields soon. And I'll see you guys in the next video.